All right, hello, and welcome to the River Cruising Masterclass. I am so excited that you are here. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about this is episode 3 of our Rhine River mini series, and today we're going to be talking about Northern Rhine gyms. So the Northern Rhine is actually going to be what we consider like Amsterdam to Cologne and things of that nature. So just so you're aware of kind of where it is and what we're looking at here. And I wanted to let you guys know how excited I am that you are listening to this because my podcast is almost at 1,000 views and I am shooketh. Thank you to the, I'm assuming 1,000 people that have listened to me speak. I so appreciate it. So basically, in this series, I'm going to be highlighting the Rhine River, why I recommend it, and what are some of the great things that you can do there. So previously, we've talked about Amsterdam, an overview of the Rhine, and so today we're going to be doing the Northern Rhine gyms. And then we're going to be doing the Middle Rhine, and then the Southern Rhine area, and then going into Switzerland and things of that nature. So those are kind of the outline of this little mini series. And so basically what we're seeing here is that it flows through the Netherlands and Western Germany. It is a mix of canals and cathedrals, beer halls, and modern cities. And it is your typical embarkation or disembarkation region for Rhine River cruises. Most of them end in Amsterdam, but I will say that I have a group going on Christmas markets in December, and they are disembarking in Cologne. Yes. So it is possible. So we have already talked about this, but I can't mention Northern Rhine without mentioning Amsterdam. So Amsterdam is, of course, as we talked about, the city of canals, culture, Dutch food, and just that like overall Amsterdam, Netherlands personality. A canal cruise is a must do. If you do a AMA Waterways cruise, it's included. I'm doing one for Thanksgiving of this year. If you want to join me on a river cruise, do the Christmas markets of Belgium and the Netherlands. But you do get a canal cruise included in that, and you can either do daytime or the evening. Happy hour is the best because drinks are included. What? The Rijksmuseum Museum, the Van Gogh Museum, those iconic Dutch artists are really what you want to see. The Anne Frank House, as we've talked about, is absolutely unforgettable. It's emotional, but it does require early booking, so be prepared for that. The Jordan district is cozy streets. You've got some cute independent shops. I still think about this cute shop that did custom tile work. They were all hand-painted tiles, and it was all these different spots in Netherlands that you could like collect there. So you can also rent a bike or join a guided cycling tour. If you are on a lot of the river cruise companies, Viking does not, but a lot of the other ones will actually have bikes included and on the boat. Some of them will be e-bikes, but some of them will also just be your old-fashioned bikes. So if you are interested in bicycling, I definitely recommend a river cruise because you can get that active experience that way. Another stop on a Rhine River in the Northern Rhine area is Kinderdijk, which is your windmills and your Dutch engineering. This can either be done as a pre, in, or post in Amsterdam, or it can be part of your tour. It has over 19 windmills that are standing from the 1740s. Like that's BA or BUSA, before the United States of America. Because I hate saying before America because that's actually like North America. It's not the United States. Anyways, that's my whole that's a spiel for another time. You learn about like the Dutch flood control and water management systems, how they were able to handle the fact that they're at or below, that they're almost all of their country is below sea level. Being able to walk or boat among the windmills, visit the museum mill for an inside look, but don't make eye contact with the, there's a picture of the family that used to live there, and it's like 10 kids in maybe 500 square feet. And those kids just look like they hate their lives in that photo. I'll post a picture of it in my Facebook group, River Cruising Tips and Tricks with Sydney, so you can see it and understand why I say that. But it's interesting. And it's an ideal photography spot, and it's perfect to kind of see everything. I took a group of 10 people with me, and we had an amazing time. It is such a fun spot and interesting to learn that history. As I said, it's a Poodle pick. If you want to go in the early morning, you can see the kind of beauty before anyone else gets there, but it's not super busy, and it's pretty exclusive, so that you don't have to worry about it being overcrowded. I did go in April, but we didn't really have a problem with there being too many people. Now, another spot that you'll pretty much hit on all of the river cruises, Kinderdijk, you only hit with some of them. So if you don't hit it, it's about a maybe hour to drive there from Amsterdam. So it's not far at all, is Cologne. So Cologne is your next city that you can go to, and it is literally a Gothic masterpiece. And it has an amazing beer culture. So home to the Cologne Cathedral, it is the tallest Gothic structure in Northern America, and home to the relics from the three wise men. It is an absolutely beautiful building. It is so cool. I went on Easter, which is an experience. And if you can set it up where you go to that cathedral on Easter, there was a 50-50 chance that we could get in, but God shined his light upon us and we were able to do it. They had a full ceremony going on, and it was absolutely amazing. You can also, not on Easter, so this is one of those like trade-offs, you can climb the 500 plus steps of the cathedral steps to go all the way up to the tippy top and see everything there. And that is definitely something I recommend. I was not able to do because it was Easter and it was Cologne. You have the Kolosch beer, which is a local tradition. It's small glasses and fast service. So if you, in our tour guide, when we were on there, actually said you're going to expect to see those 10 to 12 ounce, or I think it was like 8 to 10 ounce glasses for your beer. And if you see anything bigger, that means that it's a tourist spot and it's not actually the local beer like halls or what you're expecting. So that they are very much focused on like the small amounts, and not that they want you to have less, but just so that you can get the right quality, like the pour ratio and making sure it's good, crisp and clean. And it's a very good like beer. I'm not a huge beer drinker, but it was decent enough for me to drink. So it apologize. Okay. So some other port mentions that you might want to think about is Düsseldorf. So Düsseldorf is modern meets historic. It's got some high-end shopping on the Cologne Kinderdijk, but it also has some really fun breweries like the Altbert Brewery in Old Town. I will tell you to go back because I forgot about it. In Cologne, they have a there is so I went on a Viking river cruise, and they have an optional tour to go to a palace. I will say that it was interesting and it was a really beautiful palace to see, but with the limited amount of time that you have in Cologne, I would actually recommend skipping it to just enjoy the city of Cologne. I did it because it was Easter and we were worried that there wasn't going to be enough to see or do, or that nothing was going to be open, which is a valid concern because I'm going to say 70% of everything that we walked by was closed as it was Easter. But the palaces were open and we were able to see them, and it was interesting. And I thought it was really cool. If you did an overnight, if you did 2 days in Cologne, I would say to spend time there. But if not, I definitely think I would skip it. So another one that you could do is, or another city is Ulrich. which is a unique wharfside cafe culture, which has some medieval towers, a relaxing student energy, and is often seen on AMA waterways tours. Please hold for 1 second. So you have that area. When I was on my cruise, we didn't do those two areas, but it is still fun to kind of see the differences. I apologize. My notes are disappearing on me as we speak, so I'm missing out on some stuff. But that's showbiz, as they say, right? Okay. So as I was talking about, Düsseldorf is going to be more seen on Riverside and Scenic, and it is going to have the Old Town, which actually has one of the oldest or the longest bar in the world due to 260 tightly packed pubs. Definitely try a glass of the Alt beer, which is the city's signature top fermented beer. It's a dark beer, not my specialty, but something you can try. If you are an art lover, explore the K20 through K21 museums because it features It features classic, modern, and contemporary installments for you to enjoy. And then if you were on Scenic, they do have this thing called TaylorMade app, which works beautifully in Dusseldorf for a self-guided walking tour if you don't want to be with the group. Now, Ulrich is actually a hidden Dutch treasure. So it's it's part of the Netherlands. And it's not often on major, like a lot of the cruise lines. But as I was telling you before, you'll see on all of these river cruise companies' websites that they'll have like 5 different descriptions for a Rhine river cruise. So like you have like the Rhine getaway, you have Swiss castles, or Swiss waterways and Rhine castles, and you'll have, Rhine exploration and Moselle. And so each one of those has small differences and will go to different ports. So when you're looking at all of those trips, see what the difference is between all of those excursions and see which one sounds the most interesting to you. The way I look at it is that you're going to have a great time on any of them. And it's a great way to be able to do the same river over again and still be able to have a new experience. So I've done the Danube, I think 3 times now. And each time I did it, there was 1 or 2 different ports each time, which made it really interesting and unique. And it also made it so that I didn't feel bored. Like you have like Vienna, Budapest, that you'll see every time, Passau. But there's enough to do that you can do different things each time. And then you also have some of those different new ports that you can explore and make it still a unique experience, even if you're doing the same Rhine River over again. But it is unique for its 2-leveled canal. So it has wharfside cafes below the street level, creating this intimate waterside. So you'll have one side you'll have the canal, and you'll have you'll have a street level, and then you'll have canal level, and you'll have restaurants and things in between, which is really a fun way to just kind of sit, have a coffee and explore. So they also have the Dom Tower, which is the tallest in the Netherlands and offers a panoramic view after 465-step climb, so you can admire the region around you. Basically, when you go to Europe, expect to walk a lot. So it is a younger city. It has a university there. So it's great for travelers who are wanting like a quiet alternative to Amsterdam. There aren't as many tourists, but you still get a great experience and kind of get to see a different side of the Netherlands. Now, if you wanted to do an add-on, I would definitely go to the Museum Spiegelach, which is dedicated to playing musical instruments. So something interesting, something different. I love those sort of things and finding that different sort of piece. Now, some of those bonus parts, as I was talking about as well. So you have Arnhem, which is for World War II history and an open air luxury or legacy. So best known for the Battle of Arnhem. I'm probably butchering this, as we've said. It's not not my specialty. During World War II, and it's featured in A Bridge Too Far. So there's also the Airborne Museum at Harstenstein, and it tells a story of British paratroopers and the local resistance. It's really informative. It's well curated. It's something I definitely recommend going to. You can also visit the John Frost Bridge, which is named after the British commander who defended it against all odds. So the Netherlands Open Air Museum is a must-see for the heritage lovers. It has a sprawling collection of authentic buildings, windmills, and even trams from various eras in Dutch history. So it's basically all there, and you can just walk around and kind of see the history of, of not just like pieces, but, cars, planes, trains, and automobiles. Not really, but yes. So Arnhem is basically a great stop for those reflective travelers and families alike, especially for those who are into military history or just want to do something that's a little bit more different and unique and off the beaten path. Another spot in the Netherlands that some of the river cruises stop in is Nijmegen, which is the oldest city in Netherlands. With Roman origins dating over 2,000 years, Nijmegen, I'm sure I butchered that, I apologize, is ideal for those history buffs and off the beaten path fans. Here are a couple of things that I recommend. So you have the Valkhof Park and Museum, which showcases those Roman era ruins, the medieval art, and modern architecture in a single sitting. It has the Lang Hazelhofstad, which is the Netherlands' oldest shopping street, and today is filled with hip boutiques, bookstores, and cafes. You will find my mom there. There's a store called Scotch and Soda, which she bought a bunch of things when we were in Amsterdam. And I wouldn't be surprised if that store is there as well, because my mom is obsessed. And yes, so you will probably see this if you do a spring and fall thing, fall cruise, because it does have issues with the water levels. So you probably won't be able to see it in the summer. But if you're looking for a little bit of a different trip, that is what I recommend. So in terms of favorite tour picks and personal highlights for this region, I definitely recommend the Amsterdam canal tours. So much fun and such a unique way to see it like the locals see it. So you can kind of see how the locals move. You get to enjoy learning about all the different areas and see how they go through that. The Kinderdijk windmill tour, definitely interesting to learn about. It's an interesting museum. You get to learn about all of the ways they do things and how it's still working to this day. They also have a story while you're there about where the name came from. And let me pull that up real quick. Kinderdijk name, right? So let me pull that up so I can tell it to you. So basically it is named to, the legend is from 1421 from the St. Elizabeth's flood. Basically, after the water settled, the locals were inspected the devastation and saw a wooden cradle floating in the water on the dike. And inside was a baby, alive and dry, and a cat had been jumping from side to side to keep the cradle balanced from preventing it from tipping. So basically, this touching story became known as the Cat in the Cradle, and the area was forever known as Kinderdijk, or Children's Dike, in honor of the miraculous survival. So when you're there, you can actually see wooden cradle floating in the waters because they've kept it there just as a homage to their history. So doing the Cologne Cathedral is something I definitely recommend. If you are willing to brave it to the top, it is a beautiful skyline of Cologne. I definitely recommend it if you can make the steps. If not, just going is really cool and being able to see the relics. You can also do a Klosch crawl, which is going to be where you can go, beer hopping and trying all the different beers, exploring that, seeing how every new beer has a story. The servers will tally up your count. Basically what they do is when you are given the beers, they tally up how many you've had on the coaster, and then you can pay there. You can also, they do that at a place called Local in Prague because that is a huge beer spot as well. But anyways, these river cruises are really fun. And so I definitely recommend doing it. It's a way to be able to explore those cities, to see all these things and enjoy the cities and not have to unpack and repack every day, because that's one of those things when it comes to Europe. So my tips for you guys for the specific northern Rhine region is, if you're gonna do the Anne Frank house, you're gonna have to book early. It releases 6 weeks out, and if you don't have it booked, you are SOL, and you have to wake up super early in the morning. I think it's like 2 a.m. if you're Pacific Standard Time. Don't quote me on that, but you do have to wake up pretty early, or you can have the help of a travel agent. If we've booked everything, I can make that for you. Some bike tours are included, as well as e-bikes, as I said, and they're ideal for beginners or uneven fitness levels. I did it. I didn't make it the full way through a bike tour, but I attempted, and you can too. You do want to bring cash for local market snacks or brewery gratuities. So they will take credit card everywhere, but if you're just going to be stopping, I always say for like a coffee, or if you want to do tips, I definitely still recommend class. And don't skip the included walking tours or any of the other tours. They're so interesting, and you learn a little bit each time you do it. It's a couple hours. It's not going to kill you. If you're someone that likes to explore on your own, totally. But I love the included tours because you really just get an idea of what everything is for. And they'll also give you some great tips on restaurants to go to for lunch, highlights and things that you should do on top of the included tour. So don't miss out on that. So basically, I would recommend that you are, you've done Amsterdam, we're doing Northern Rhine. And so next time we're going to be focusing on Middle Rhine, which is actually my favorite part. The Middle Rhine is going to be where we do the Rhine Gorge, which is where you have the 40 different castles. And I will actually go through and I'll pick my top 10 castles on there, and we can kind of go through them and figure out their history and everything like that. But now we're going to be going through Germany and France on our next time as we're learning about this region. And I can't wait for you to listen in and continue on. So basically, that's what we're going to be talking about next time. It'll probably be next week or the week after. And I cannot wait. If you do have any questions about river cruising, please don't hesitate to reach out. My email address is sydney@thepoodlebooked.com, and I can help you with that next trip. Anyways, I hope you have a great day.